Live from Delaware, it's Hoagies and Pierogis! With your hosts, Ian DiCarlo. We're getting a little double down. Chocolate Rain. And RJ Hammond.
I just want some more hot tea in my life. Let's just say he was a good lover.
Technical difficulties to start.
Yeah, that would have been really bad. I almost started going without hitting record. RJ was doubling up.
My microphone was fucking up.
Your microphone was like Aaron Rodgers' Achilles. Ah!
Oh, God. Are
we
just doing that?
Okay.
You want to just go backwards?
Where do we start?
Let's just go backwards.
Where do we start? Let's
just go backwards. Start from last night. Let's just start from last night.
Because I kind of had a plan.
Okay.
But
if you have a plan, then go ahead.
I mean,
just don't know.
That's obviously the most pertinent news. But let's get the bullshit out of the way.
So much stuff happened, and then last night happened, and it was like nothing else mattered. Like, especially
Seriously,
on everything I listened to today. I was like, I don't know what else is there even talk about after last night? But anyway, go ahead.
I don't know. The season finale of Winning Times next week. That's going to be pretty cool. They ended the episode again
already
with fuck Boston.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense that it's their first championship against the Lakers. No, second against the Celtics, right? Because they won
first one against the Celtics. First one against the Celtics.
Okay, first one against. That's right. Because
it's weird. Because in episode 6, there's a year time skip.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
out of nowhere.
It's like they took this whole long first year of Magic Johnson's rookie year, which I guess that makes sense, and then they're just like, all this other bullshit doesn't really matter until they play Boston in the finals, which you're kind of setting up this whole time.
Right, they barely addressed it. I mean, like, I understand that probably nothing significant happened the rest of the year, but they did foreshadow a good move by
Jerry West? No.
Yes, West. Yeah.
The Norm trade?
I almost called him Jerry Lake for some reason. No, the number 1 pick that he made.
Oh, yes. That's right.
That's foreshadowing for later in the season. Or for not later in the season, but later in the series.
I literally know like nothing about basketball history much except for obviously the big thing. So like I had to look because I was like, they win against the Celtics, right? And then I looked
it up too.
They kind of ended up dominating the Celtics in the finals when they're when they play every year, like when Magic's there, they do pretty damn well.
Yeah, the first time they play them in the finals, though, spoiler alert, to the last episode of the season, they lose. So, I mean, this is real life events. I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah. Wait,
but I do wonder if Jerry Buss was served for $100 million by Honey.
That whole thing was weird because she comes home and I'm like, is she like cheating? Is she just high on like heroin or something? I didn't really.
Well, yeah. At first, I was like,
understand.
Yeah, like he must be mad because she's just like smoke weed high and not like because she didn't seem out of it.
Well, and then she was like saying,
"I went out. What do people do when they go out?"
And then she was talking about
so funny to me.
Him doing his things, and I was like, "Is he?" I don't know. It was a weird scene to kind of throw in there, but I guess it was a way to be like, he gets sued for $100 million.
Yeah, I guess kind of like the build-up is, and like the transition for him is he was hooking up with a bunch of women before the season, and like now this season of the show, like it transitions into him being like fully hands-on with the team, like 24/7, and it goes from one vice to another.
Yeah, basically just the team.
Yeah. It's just the same thing happened, but in a different way from what we all expected. I kind of expected him to get divorced. I don't know. I didn't look anything up on the personal side.
Yeah, it is very. Like I've said, if you want a fun way to kind of look back at that time, if you know nothing about it, this is a fun way to kind of do it. It's very fun to watch. It's very good. It is a little bit. The skipping around is a little odd this season, but I guess I can't really complain because I didn't mind it when they did it with House of the Dragon, which completely different shows, but
at least this year
in between.
Yeah, at least this year was a little bit more realistic with the plot twist, which I don't know if it happened in real life. Because last season it was a crackhead saying he wanted to kill the whole team.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this didn't actually happen.
Yeah. Go 'em all.
But again, they ended the episode with "fuck Boston," so
yes, fuck Boston.
That was again hilarious.
As much as I don't like the Lakers, I can relish in that sentiment when it comes to the Celtics. So, fuck Boston.
Absolutely. But that is the only thing on the itinerary that was not football related.
I mean, football's in full swing officially. It's in full swing, and I texted
Week 2 college, week 1 of NFL,
and I texted Shane last night too after the game, and I was like, "When does Maction start so that I can get football on Tuesday and Wednesday too?" And he was like, "Slow down. We need to ease into that." And I'm like, "You're right. I still need those couple days
buddy.
in between."
But yeah, so let's get into college first.
Okay, we'll talk about that game last night then later, because I had.
Oh yeah, that's
okay.
Spoiler. Yeah, that's not spoiler, but foreshadowing for the end. We'll save that for the end. Like I said, get through the bullshit first. And at this point, college football is bullshit.
It is some fun bullshit that happened this weekend after last night. It was just
I think
great.
the big story is Colorado keeps rolling.
And
that was
it's one of them.
That was a pretty easy guess. I mean, Nebraska? We thought Nebraska was going to hold Colorado down? No.
They looked solid. Like, at the beginning of the game, I never thought Nebraska was going to win or really even be that close. Like, I thought maybe the way it was looking, like, Colorado would win an ugly, like, I don't know, 20-7 game or something like that. And then their offense just exploded. And it seems like no matter what, that their offense can... I shouldn't say no matter what, it's 2 games, but their offense can adapt because Nebraska defense was holding them tough for the first half, and then the second half, Shedeur and them just went off, and Shedeur is fucking good, man. And the fact that he might be back next year too is crazy.
Incredible. Did you see him like pre-game? Someone was talking to him, and he just held up the fucking like diamond watch to his face.
Oh, and then
didn't say a word.
After too, the whole like theme of it was. I mean, basically anything Colorado is appointment television at this point. This is the first time I found myself sitting down, excited to hear press game conferences from people and listen to Shedeur talk about. You know, it was personal. I heard them talking about my dad. The coach said things about my dad, and I was like, "Well, fuck them." And then when he had that, Deion was talking about when he had that run and took his helmet off, and he was like, he's like, I was pissed. He didn't say that because he doesn't curse, but he's like, I was like, what are you doing? And Shedeur just looked at him and said, Dad, it's personal, because that was a thing all week. And Deion was like, I just fell over laughing because you just threw him back in my face. Like, it was so great.
My boy.
Like,
but yeah, we'll see. College game days going there this weekend. Who are they playing?
Because there's no good games this weekend. There's really not. They're playing Colorado State. That's all I got.
It's week 3. Yeah. What is it? The Rocky Mountain matchup or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, it's the in-state rivalry. It's what I got. I don't see how they even. I think they're like 20-point favorites already.
Good.
I'm working Saturday, and I'm happy I'm working that Saturday because I looked at the slate and I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to be tempted to try and like bet any of this, or I might try and watch some of the stuff while I'm at work, some teams that I'm interested in, but there's really nothing. I think I think game day was supposed to go to Penn State, Illinois, and then because Illinois is supposed to be better, and then they got walloped by Kansas last week.
Oh.
So they switched it to Colorado because, I mean, why not? You're going to get a fuck ton of people there because it's the story of the year this year.
Hmm. Well, speaking of Penn State, 63 points against Delaware, and that's the win. The huge win isn't surprising, but Penn State never really scores more than 50 points against anyone.
I don't remember
so
the last time.
So I think this is kind of different.
I don't remember the last time that I've seen a Penn State team score 63, and it might have happened recently. I didn't really go back and look, but even like last year, I think we played Villanova and we won 30-0, or it was not a close game, but it was they didn't cover, they didn't score a lot of points, and now it's and it wasn't even Drew Aller this time. It was just the running backs, and it was just James Franklin not letting off the pedal, which it feels like sometimes we used to do against some of these inferior teams of we just kind of coast through it, and it's
well, that's why I took Delaware plus 41.5 because I expected a 48-7 game.
That's what you'd expect from Penn State, and
yeah.
I don't know if we'll have to see as we get into especially with Illinois this week. I think that's a big game to see. We should win big, but I would like to see how big. Are we going to treat Illinois like Ohio State used to treat an Illinois and stuff? Are we just going to pummel them and not let up? Because that's what I want. And I think that's something that has been missing is we coast through these teams, and we need to take these teams and we need to pound their dicks in the dirt, to have that mentality of pound the other team's dicks into the dirt. So when we get against Michigan and we get against Ohio State, the past 2 years, we haven't been – the scores at the end of the game look bad, but we've been in it for a decent – most of the games for both, especially Ohio State. We always give Ohio State fits. So I just
right.
It's exciting to see.
Out of the big three, Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, and the Big Ten. I mean, Penn State looked the best out of the three. Michigan won 35-7 against UNLV, and Ohio State also won 35-7 against Youngstown.
I'm definitely looking into the Ohio State one and being this is not the typical Ohio State. Thinking about it last year, Michigan kind of did this where they coasted. They did what they had to do to win. They beat the teams, and you weren't sure. I think some people were thought Ohio State was going to win last year when it got to that point, and Michigan beat their dicks into the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take too much into that. I will take Ohio State not doing that and beating these teams, killing them like they should. With do they have some questions? Because I don't know about this McCord guy. I don't know how Kyle McCord is going to be.
Is Marvin Harrison Jr. the only player on the offense? That's what it seems like.
He made some damn plays,
he still busts out for 160 yards though. I mean,
if you saw any of those plays that he had last weekend too,
he have? Yeah, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean he killed it. He had a great fucking game. He's going to be incredible.
Yeah, that was really good. Was there any other Big Ten?
So I don't know.
I really don't think there was.
I don't know about matchups, but I don't know if you know this. So Iowa, they're one of the teams in the West that's usually pretty good. So Iowa, good defense, not the greatest offense. The offensive coordinator in his contract. Now Brian Ferentz is the coach of Iowa, right? His son is the offensive coordinator. In his contract to keep his job this year, Iowa has to win 7 games, and they have to average 25 points a game. And he is already behind the ball. 2 games.
Oh, my God. Well, they're 2-0.
They are.
Does he have to meet both of those requirements?
Yes.
Or just one of them?
Both. Yes, they have to, because that has been the big thing, is that Iowa, their defense, and if they score defensive touchdowns,
well,
that doesn't count against him. It still counts towards his points.
Right.
But Iowa has to score 25 points because their offense has been so shit.
I'm going to take this with a grain of salt because it's Iowa State Iowa State always plays Iowa very close, very hard. They're their in-state rival, and they were at Iowa State, which is a very hard place to play.
Yes.
I'll give them the 20 points. I mean, like,
but Utah State too. They're basically their schedule's not going to get any easier from here. Their two probably easiest opponents, maybe not easiest. They might have easier ones down the line, but two of their easier opponents, Utah State and Iowa State. Who Iowa State does play them well. They usually have an okay defense, but they're missing a lot of people because their starting quarterback got in trouble for gambling on Iowa State. I don't know if you saw that. So, like, they're a really bad team this year.
You know what, RJ? I'm not gonna roll my eyes. Let's not mince words here. I blew my fucking money on bets this weekend.
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm not
gonna bring that up.
So I get it. Like, I totally understand. It's hard to not bet and not be like, oh, well, I didn't make this bet, so I'll live bet this shit, and I'll definitely win that. No. I was chasing hard this weekend.
Yeah, that's a bad. And
it was bad.
It never ends up. Sometimes it works. A lot of times you end up really sad at the end of the night, wondering what the fuck you just did. I did that a couple times last year.
The biggest one, we'll just get this out of the way, it was obviously USC not hitting the over. 49 points. They scored 49 points in the first half. 52 points total in the first half. Over was 69.5. Okay, I can go to sleep. That's pretty easy. I'll just go to sleep after they score the next touchdown. No points in the third quarter.
I was worried because it seemed so good. It seemed so easy because they scored so much. And then the second that I saw the backup out there to start, I was like, oh, they're letting their foot off the pedal. And that's when I texted you. I was like, this is about to be the hardest 17.5 points of your entire life. And
this is why Corey can go fuck himself. That was their backup 5-star quarterback. Shut the fuck up, Corey. I don't give a fuck about stars. I don't care about stars at all.
I'm not getting into that because that whole conversation got too confusing because you both had good points, but never mind. That's
like saying you have a bunch of first-rounders on your roster. Oh, but one of those first-rounders is Jalen Reagor.
But that's
bullshit. I don't give a fuck about status like that.
Comparing it to draft picks isn't exactly the same because
it's
draft picks are.
It really is not that much different. It really isn't.
I don't know how to explain it. But the recruits and the stars matter. They do. They don't not matter. Because it's different from NFL where, like, NFL, like, I don't know how to explain it because, like, you are picking those
exactly
guys.
Well, no, it's exactly like a minor league team for baseball. You stock up on prospects that look really fucking good.
Okay, yes.
And a lot of them don't pan out.
Yeah.
A lot of them don't pan out, no matter what they are. And there will always be those ones that were like 2 stars or 3 stars that get, more often than not, get by. And those are the ones that make the major league rosters.
Where it got twisted for me was when Corey started talking about USC's system too, where like that's how it works in the NFL. Is like, yeah, you can get this highly touted guy, but like, say if Urban stayed at Jacksonville. Who knows? Trevor Lawrence might have turned out to be like a bust or something like that. Or like USC does have a really good system. Their defense good, but if I don't know, let's move on because that whole conversation got really confusing to me. Because it does matter.
The system thing is weird to me because that really is dependent on a lot of that's dependent on a lot of things.
It's like
and a system works if you have 5 stars or not. That's the thing. I mean,
because it was kind of like that with Kirby and Georgia for a little while, where he would get all these 5-star. Like Jake Fromm was a 5-star and was really good his first year. Took him to the national championship where they lost, and then he only got worse. And then like all of a sudden, I don't know what Georgia did or something, where they're still getting these 5-star recruits, but now they're getting better throughout the year. Like Stetson Bennett was not a 5-star, not a walk-on, and then they developed it. And this is where it's like I think you guys are both right. Where, like, it all does matter, but you can argue that none of it fucking matters if you just want to.
Well, all of that is a moot point because I still think USC will be a consistent fourth place finisher behind Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State because they have rosters that are better suited for their division.
Yeah.
Bar none.
I guess Corey's point.
Just wait until USC gets a taste of Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State 3 weeks in a row. They're going to hate themselves.
I guess it's more of a point of like, yeah, probably with the Big Ten defense and the way it is, we can probably we'll match up against USC like Utah did and can punch them in the mouth. But it is still scary to see people like Caleb Williams in that offense walking in.
But
it won't be Caleb Williams,
exactly.
Like,
exactly. You have a generational talent, generational quarterback prospect on your team right now who was undoubtedly going to be the number one pick. I'm not going to say undoubtedly going to do well, but I cannot see him busting. That is crazy. He will at least be average. He'll be a Deshaun Watson floor, Mahomes ceiling. And that's it. I mean, and I would take both of those.
I just don't know with those Lincoln Riley just has, other than Spencer Rattler, is literally the only outlier that Lincoln Riley has in his like head coaching career of like not taking someone and just making them incredible. Where like they haven't panned out in the NFL yet.
He made Baker incredible, and Baker Mayfield.
We need to talk about Baker later.
NFL game. So you know what? And Baker is not nearly as close to the athlete that Caleb Williams is. So there's USC is thriving right now, and I really don't. I mean, that was the one player that they hit on in their recruiting class was. Well, okay.
Well,
tell me what Caleb Williams' star rating was out of fucking high school. Probably 5. You know what? Probably 5. But what if it was 4? Fuck off. I'm just saying it's so hit or miss, and you cannot just rely on that.
No, you can't.
I know all too well what the fucking. It's
fucking
minor league baseball.
Caleb Williams was rated as a 4-star by ESPN and 5-star by 24/7 Sports. I trust 24/7 Sports more. I think as far as recruiting goes.
Never mind.
It's. I mean, we'll have to wait and see
how
it does in the NFL.
Let's go in the middle and say 4.5.
Because they all of his quarterbacks, again, except for Spencer Rattler, put up these fucking crazy numbers because of the scheme that they have. And I understand, they look so good. They have all looked so fucking good. And we'll see when he gets to the NFL. And I do think Caleb Williams is different. I think he is different. I think he's really fucking good.
All I'm saying is Baker was not making these sidearm, no-look throws, chucking it deep down the field, accurate as fuck. There's zero comparison between Baker and Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is planets beyond. So I think Corey being afraid of USC is a little. We're on the same team. We're both Penn State fans. So, I just think he's unnecessarily afraid of USC.
Corey is always unnecessarily negative about all of his teams. So, I think I just jumped on his side that night because I was like, well, this is fun.
Well, no, I could tell that you didn't want to, that I had a valid point in saying that stars don't always matter. Collectively, yeah, sure. Collectively, yeah, they matter.
I was trying to think of the best way to describe it.
Depth.
Where, yeah, I mean, there you go, depth. That's the perfect way to describe it. Because
all that is depth. It makes your team better throughout the game. It makes your team better throughout the whole game than just say the first half.
Here's what it is, and it's literally taking it from the team that we're talking about, except. Back when he was at Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley had all these 4 and 5 stars, and he had Spencer Rattler, who was dog shit. And because of all his 4 and 5 stars that he recruited,
is dog shit.
Spencer Rattler, I'm pretty sure, was a very highly recruited 5-star. But luckily for them, they had Caleb Williams waiting behind him. So yeah, there you go. That's the depth thing of okay, this guy sucks or this guy goes down. Hey, we still got I mean, good lord, Ohio State. I'm sure they have people that they're recruiting in high school that they're counting on their depth chart that can probably step in today. I don't know how, but they will.
Right. Yeah. But yeah. So
I think Corey's point is Penn State hasn't had this offense to match with this, but I think now when they're coming in and the way it's going to go, I think we're going to be able to punch them in the mouth.
No one in the Big Ten does. Zero
Ohio
people
State
in the Big
has.
Ten right now do.
Not right now.
No, I mean,
not
they
right
have, yeah, but not right now. Not even last year.
But
that doesn't matter because the defenses are so much better.
Day.
Yeah, I don't know either. But the defenses are so much better. That's my point. They're like not facing
This
Pac-12 defenses anymore.
Such a good college football season, and I'll make my point at the end of college, at the end of all of this about it because
it is.
But anyway, let's go on to the next game. Since we
kind of skipped to USC there. Yeah.
I mean, we had to because it consumed so many hours of our night that night.
Mm-hmm.
So this, I'm banning Texas A&M from. I'm never betting on them again. Every time I think they've got it, Miami was so horrible last year, and Texas A&M was not great either last year. But I was like, no way, Miami, because I mean Miami barely won a game against Virginia last year, like 10-9 or something in overtime. They're 13-10, like it's fucking right. Virginia. And I think this was even after the tragedy that happened. So like these kids are just beaten down. I don't know what, but anyway, that was just a beatdown by Miami. Miami is a damn good team all of a sudden, and I can't wait for the Florida State. That was kind of
scary.
I can't wait for Florida State Miami. That's gonna be fucking fun.
Well, let's be honest. Florida State. I mean, even though it's just week 2 and they played nobody, they won 66-10.
Dude,
let's not put. I think Florida State's the favorite for that game.
I've
probably
like
4.5 point favorite at this point.
I watched all of that game, and I had 2 teams this whole year that other than obviously I'm going to be hopeful for Penn State. It looks like maybe we'll be rare, but 2 teams where I was going to stand on the box this year, and I was going to say that I think they're fucking good no matter what. And you already know the one, and the other one is fucking Florida State, because I think Jordan Travis is so good. I think he's electric. Johnny Wilson, Keon Coleman, those 3 touchdowns. Like, I think, I'm just going to make my point. The NIL and the transfer portal and this expanded playoff has all come at the perfect time because college football has never been, not never, it has not been this nationwide in a long time. Probably since the Texas USC game. Like, it's been very centered in SEC, Southeast, Clemson area. And now you got teams, I know Florida State's still down there, but you got Texas who's playing really well. You got USC. Penn State's maybe popping up. Like, we've been good. I mean, you got all these teams. Miami might be a fucking contender. Like, we might get down to the end here and be like, there might. It usually figures itself out, but towards the end, we might be like, we need the 12-team playoff now because there are some teams that should be in it, and I think the committee may have a tough decision at the end of the year.
Wait, is that not this year?
Nope, next year.
I thought they meant 2024 as in when it would happen.
I know.
Okay.
Nope, not yet. So after everything moves is when we'll start the 12-team, and I wish it was this year because... And people who argued against it... you know what? People who argued against it, fuck you, because they were like, oh, it's just going to be the same 4. No, the NIL is taking all these kids who are not going to get these start and transfer portals, taking all these kids who thought, I need to go to Ohio State, I need to go to these 4 schools to get recruited and seen a lot. And now you're seeing, oh, I can get seen, I can make money, I can do these things all over the place and get exposure. And now it makes so much sense to have more teams because you're going to need to. And Alabama's losing to teams like Texas. Fucking ACC teams are blowing out SEC teams. Sorry, that's it.
I was just going to say, all of, like, God damn it, RJ.
I'm sorry. Like, it's crazy.
Okay. There's just there's no clear number 1 this year. I don't even think Georgia's safe.
Georgia's. We're not going to know about Georgia until the SEC championship game. Maybe Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee is going to give them anything. They looked horrible this week.
Yeah, they did. I do not trust in Tennessee at all. 30-13 against Austin, PA.
Yeah, like Georgia's not going to get tested until, and the SEC is admittedly down all over. Like who are they going to end up playing against? An Alabama that lost to Texas and maybe lose.
I don't know.
Who's winning the West? Ole Miss. Maybe a dark horse to win the West because they were in a tight game against Tulane, but they made some stops that I don't typically see a Lane Kiffin defense kind of stop. So I
don't even know who they played.
They played Tulane. It was a fucking good game. It was a good game. But yeah, Georgia's probably going to waltz in, and then you're going to have 3 other teams that are battle tested, and maybe Georgia just kicks everyone in the dick again, and their defense is amazing. But I don't know.
But you're losing me a little bit on college football. Let's go into the real football that matters.
I mean, we're not even going to talk about Texas, Alabama. Texas looks fucking amazing. They look so good.
I know, but
I got to take my victory lap. I got to take my victory lap. Because Texas, I sat here last week and told you that they are good. And they're better than Alabama. And my God, were they better than Alabama. I still didn't believe you. They are so much better. And they are... I don't know who they're going to face against them. Oh, my God. I couldn't believe it. And to win in Alabama... I just wanted to
took a little bit too long to get there, and I'm done with college football.
I don't know how. The NFL games, I mean, it was great, but a lot of those games sucked.
I know, RJ, but just hung on stuff a little bit too long there.
I could talk college football all day.
I can't. So
I can still talk NFL, so that's fine.
All right.
Maybe I just need
1 o'clock
a power
games.
Minute.
I don't know. Let's get focused in here a little bit. What the fuck was going to happen? Jesus
I put them
Christ.
down in order, so they should all be.
Yeah.
Starting,
They are.
Yeah. Starting with Philly is where 4 o'clock games start. 1 o'clock games. Go ahead.
Oh, Jesus Christ! What the fuck happened at Washington? Washington may not be as good as I thought they were going to be because Sam Howell played like a retard.
Sam Howell had his moments. It was bad, and he ended up winning the game for him. And I don't know if maybe I'm like the Cardinals are a little bit better than I thought. At least the defense.
Yes. The Cardinals' defense actually did kind of show up.
Both teams' defense were actually pretty damn good. But I don't know about Sam Howell.
Yeah, Commanders were all right.
I was high on Sam Howell, and I don't know, man.
I don't know what the fuck happened there. Yeah, that was bad. If I bet John would have like just 20 minutes to say on this game.
There was a lot of weird, sloppy week 1 play this week, which is
which is honestly to be expected, and there are a lot of unders that hit.
Unders went 12-4, I think it was this weekend. Yeah, it was 12-4.
Damn,
I know. Week 1
was
basically preseason week 4 at this point. Like
at this point, yeah. Yeah, you're right. A lot of teams just kind of struggled.
Yeah.
Like
all around.
Houston, well, obviously Houston struggled against Baltimore. That was kind of expected. But Pitt struggled against San Francisco. Like immensely. If the Giants didn't get shut out 40-0, that Steelers game would have been the worst game of the weekend. Nothing went right for the Steelers at all.
No, nothing did. I mean, that was demoralizing for Steelers fans. It's got to be. It's a little scary as The Giants, I'm not going to lie. Not the Giants. The 49ers and the Cowboys games this weekend might have rattled me a little bit after our game. Because, man.
We'll get there. But I wanted to say, is this the year Brandon Ayuk finally breaks out?
It kind of started last year at the end. It kind of did.
Well, I mean, it kind of did, but like everyone was expecting him to have a huge year last year, and he didn't really. He was pretty slow to start off the season, but that might have just been the quarterback stuff going on.
Yeah. I mean, they had a whole slow season to start all around.
But my foreman was like, "Who the hell is Brandon Ayuk?"
If you play fantasy,
I was like, people have been waiting for this.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a fantasy person or just pay attention to football, people have been waiting for. I think 2 years ago, like they almost cut him because he was playing so bad, and they stuck with him, and
they almost traded him to the Giants this offseason. Like
really?
there were like talks. There were talks about them trading him.
I didn't even hear that. He's a stud. I mean, he's great. He's just as good as Debo. I think he even had more yards than Debo, didn't he?
Right. Well, I think they were possibly worried about having Debo, Kittle, McCaffrey. I keep forgetting there's no T in there. It's not McCaffrey. It's McCaffrey.
I think, fuck it. You're paying Mr. Irrelevant at this point. You're paying pennies on the dollar for your quarterback, so fucking load up all around him. Why not?
Right. And how much money? I mean, like, even if there's a franchise tag for him, how much money could he possibly get? It's not like he puts up crazy stats or anything. So the franchise tag would be cheap.
For Purdy or for Ayuk?
For Purdy.
I don't think they're
when it comes to it.
Yeah,
if he lasts that long.
They got a 3. I mean, he looked pretty damn good too. I watched the highlights because I wasn't able to watch that game. YouTube TV, you fucking liars.
I don't know what happened there because, obviously, it's the local game for us, but I don't understand how Sunday Ticket can black out games.
I think they just might have not understood where I was or something like that because the afternoon games were fine. It was just the early games, and I don't know what it was.
This is.
I'll wait and see for next week. I guess I'll see what happens. If it happens next week.
Have you logged into YouTube TV somewhere else other than your house?
I have, but that's not like it has it as like your home playback area. So that doesn't, because that's why I got affected last year when I was up at school. Like my home playback area was set for here,
right?
So I wouldn't get Eagles games. It would be like, hey, no, you don't. But
yeah, they do not play Eagles games at all in Western Pennsylvania.
It was the first weekend, so I calmed down and I'm going to give them a pass. Now, if it happens next weekend, I'm going to call and I'm going to sit on hold and I'm going to get angrier and angrier. And then I'll realize that it's not the person on the phone's fault and I won't yell, but I will be very angry still.
Well, I mean, you paid a fucking ass load for a Sunday ticket, so...
And their whole thing was like, no blackouts if you buy this shit. And I'm like, well, I'm fucking blacked out right now. Why am I blacked out?
I just said, fuck it, I'll re-add Red Zone again for $10 a month. I was like, that's all I need.
Yeah. I found that I really didn't pay attention when I had Red Zone on last year, so I was just like, I'll just flip through the games as I need to, because eventually some games I didn't care about.
Right. Oh, you should have seen me sitting here. I was like...
Yeah, I was looking all over. At 1, we had the Ravens game big, and then the 4 ones that I wanted to pay attention to, and then Eagles, and I was able to get all the other ones on the other side.
Hell yeah. The other ugly... you know what? This might have been a little bit worse than the Steelers game. Because no one really expected this.
Which one's this?
Cincinnati at Cleveland. Cincinnati loses 3-24.
I'm not going to lie, I kind of did. I expected the Bengals to start off slow against the Browns, who have owned them, and it happened last year.
But listen, that ugly? They couldn't move the ball. I know it was raining. Who gives a fuck, though? You're supposed to be able to move the ball in the rain. It's rain.
Yeah. It was similar to me to last year when they played the Steelers in Week 1 and they struggled to move the ball. They ended up winning somehow. But the Browns just had a better
I remember
running back. And I don't know if Deshaun
Chubb
Watson...
looked good.
He did. Actually, I can't say he did. That's one of the games I couldn't see. So that was a lie by me right there.
The limited runs that I did see when they cut back on red zone, he did look good.
So, and this has been a theme the past 2 years since we've shortened this preseason, is the teams who aren't playing offensive starters, they bet against them in Week 1. They don't typically look great. We ended up squeaking it out, but like it happened to Cincy last year. Starters didn't play. Joe Burrow got hurt and had this thing. Didn't look great. Think they'll still be fine, but I shouldn't say I expected that. I expected them to be a close game where they lost. I didn't expect 24-3. I'll be honest there.
No. This did produce the funniest quote of the weekend. Jamar Chase. I'm just pissed because I called them elves, and we just lost to some elves.
Well, it's funny because his quote, I wasn't sure if he was just talking about the logo or if he was calling all of Cleveland a bunch of elves. Because I know they have the logo, but
I'm pretty sure he was talking about the logo.
I think this game produced the best fucking clip out of the game. Did you see what Myles Garrett was doing?
No, like what? I didn't see what he was doing, but I saw that he was fucking...
Myles Garrett was lined up in front of the offensive lineman right before the snap. He's pretending to dribble between his legs, blows the lineman up, and sacks Joe Burrow.
Myles Garrett did have a great game.
Like what a cocky son of a bitch, and I kind of love it. I love that.
Dude, I'm a fan of Myles Garrett. I don't know if I've expressed that on here before, but I've been a fan since like the Mason Rudolph incident.
That was very funny. Well, and do you remember last year the one game he didn't wear sleeves? He got drug tested because his arms are fucking massive. I mean, he is a beast. He's a large man.
He is a large man. He is the opposite of an elf.
Yes, he is the opposite. He's a fucking giant.
Okay, let's see here. Let's get the ugly games out of the way. The last ugly one was, the Baltimore game was kind of ugly, but Ravens offense did fine. Zay Flowers looked worth the first-round pick.
He may be the guy that Lamar looked like he trusted him, and he was making catches and making guys fucking miss. Very
He looks
impressive.
bigger than 5'9".
He did. He really did.
I was like, God damn it! Why didn't the Patriots should have got him? If Gonzalez was not there at 17, they would have got him.
He was good, and they played such a great game, and there's a lot of good to come out of that game, I think, for Baltimore. And then J.K. Dobbins just has a torn Achilles. The poor guy.
Why can their running backs not stay healthy? I don't get what.
And they end up doing all right without him, but like J.K. Dobbins looked really fucking good at the beginning of that game. I was like, man, I was literally thinking, man, if he's healthy all year, they're going to be a fucking problem. And then this is why you don't pay your running backs, ladies and gentlemen, I guess.
Who is their second
Hill.
running back? Yeah,
He's
Hill.
good.
Hill looked good. Hill actually did look good too.
He's
a little bit skinny, but like
he's one of the guys that, or maybe I'm confusing him with someone else, but he's been around that organization for a while too. Where they like, don't be surprised if fucking Kenyon Drake's popping up later on the Ravens roster.
Oh my god,
he was like on and off it last year too.
Yeah, that's at the end of the year. Yeah, that's true.
I don't get it. But I'm excited. I was hoping Lamar would have had more passing yards and maybe especially against Houston. Forgot they had Will Anderson. He kind of made some noise out there.
Houston's defense, I don't think is that bad, especially with DeMeco Ryans coaching. I really don't think it's that bad.
They played pretty solid. I think if you see This team, like the Baltimore Ravens, against a truly bad defense, you're going to see some points get put up. And the offense for the Houston Texans, ugh. I mean,
Oh, it's bad. I knew it was bad. I know I said it like 2 weeks ago when they played the Patriots. No, that was like 4 weeks ago when they played the Patriots in the preseason. But it was pretty much the same offense that was out there in preseason.
yeah, it wasn't great.
It's not good.
Dameon Pierce.
You expect the bumps.
Dameon Pierce was good to not start. He was just getting stuffed left and right.
He was. I ended up starting Jahan Dotson, which is all right. I would have lost no matter who I started. It doesn't matter. I lost 176 to 110 or 117.
It's a low scoring week all around. All around. I mean, you look at the scores. It was like, holy shit. People were barely not a lot of people reached 100. Some people barely even reached 80.
Did I just tell you that I lost 176 to 117?
But
did you just
all
hear
the
that?
other games.
Did you just ignore that?
I'm saying all the other games. All the other games are very low scoring. I won somehow, and my quarterback got hurt 4 plays into the game.
Somehow Corey was the bane of my existence this weekend because he had Tua, who got the 400-yard bonus.
Yes.
And then the Cowboys defense that got the shutout bonus.
That I didn't change that one. I think that was always the same.
Shutout bonus is always there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate that happened against you.
The Cowboys defense had 38
they both
points.
happened. Because I was texting Shane and you were like, fuck these bonuses. And I was texting Shane. I was like, everyone, like, no one said anything right before. Like, and he was like, no one, like, had anything against it. And I was like, all right, well.
I didn't realize how it would affect the game. Because, like, if he just had one of. You know what? I was just mad.
Yeah, I was like, I think he's just mad because no one, like, I mean, it's really fucking hard to do 200 yards rushing, receiving, or throw for 400 yards. And then it just didn't help that the Cowboys defense also just piled on top of you after that. Like, I was like, great. The defense is
it was going so well in the 1 o'clock games because let's just transition on to the Jaguars-Colts game. I had Calvin Ridley, and boy, I'm so glad I hit on that.
He was fucking good, man. That was a great game. That was a really fun game. 2 really fun games, I think, of the day. 1 in each slate, and that was one of them. That was a really fun game on both sides.
It really looks like the Colts were going to win for a little bit there.
They were Anthony Richardson, also another quarterback that I have in fantasy. I don't know what his stat. I think.
Dude, I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay.
I'm fucked. I just put in waivers for Brock Purdy and fucking Baker Mayfield, so I am sinking or swimming at this point. I don't know.
All right, I put in a waiver for Mac Jones, so we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't want to go near that.
Mac Jones had 31 points. What are you talking about?
I know. I'll get to it when we get to our game, but I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize the fact that both my quarterbacks got hurt until I woke up this morning, and I was like, motherfucker, I might not even have Anthony Richardson, who was awesome.
I'll trade you down Daniel Jones for someone.
No, I'd rather go no quarterback and try and survive.
I kind of knew you were going to say that. But yeah, Colts, this Jaguars game, they outlasted the Colts. It seemed like a coaching battle for a while there.
The Colts Jags
for the first half. I mean, it was pretty much all Jacksonville. They were driving up and down the field, but they couldn't really do much. Only a touchdown in each quarter.
I just still can't. I'm still baffled that Calvin Ridley was so fucking good. Not baffled, but he came in and he was like, "You're gonna suspend me for a fucking year for gambling," and he was like, "Man, let's go do it." Michael Pittman had a good game too on the other side. I saw Reagan
Michael
had
Pittman,
him.
well, he had a long touchdown that saved his day,
That's what
kind
it
of.
was. That's what it was. And then
But Ridley was on. That's something that he can sustain. Like Zay Jones was Trevor Lawrence's favorite downfield target.
Mm-hmm.
But Ridley was just working him inside. It was kind of absurd. It was like he was just toying with them.
Well, it's really scary because both Zay Jones and Christian Kirk had really good years overall last year and was kind of tearing it up towards the end when they were figuring it out. And now you just had Calvin Ridley to that. Plus Travis Etienne, who had a pretty darn good game too.
Mm-hmm.
And man,
yeah, he had a really good game, yeah.
Trevor looked good, man. Trevor looked really good. I mean, the AFC is just... It's just a porn of good quarterbacks. It's just an orgy porn of good quarterbacks.
Dude, it really is. That Tua Justin Herbert game. Well, actually, let's hold up before we go to the 425 games. Last little tidbit for the 1 o'clock games, that Carolina-Atlanta game.
Bijan, baby.
Bijan!
That was a sick move.
Bijan and Bryce get the first 2 touchdowns of their careers and the game, respectively.
That was awesome. I didn't even realize that when I was going to put things down. I was like, oh, fuck. They both had a part to do with the first 2 touchdowns in this game. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think the Panthers are going to be pretty bad, too. I think Houston and Carolina are in for a tough year. I didn't really see anything. Maybe Houston does better against teams with the worst defense, because I think that Ravens defense is pretty scary too. But
the Ravens defense is good. That's why I did not start Pierce. But there was something about the Panthers that looked way more composed than the Texans. Bryce Young looked very calm, and that's kind of just his demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what you need. And C.J. Stroud kind of looked flustered a lot.
Yeah, like I said,
I know the Ravens and the Falcons defense are not the same at all. But
it's funny because
the Falcons defense is no joke either.
No, they're pretty damn good too. Arthur Smith he's got the whole team playing good, and they've got a good game plan where they're really not making Desmond Ridder do too much, and they're just having everyone else do what they got to do.
It's the way it's supposed to be. I think they're kind of building like a Blake Bortles Jags kind of team. Rely on that defense, rely on that front seven, and hopefully someone out of the secondary comes out, like a Jalen Ramsey just comes out of nowhere. And they just have to be consistent on offense.
They do. And as much as we talk about how the league is high-flying and, passing leagues, I do feel like defenses, the past year, even 2, including this year, defense is kind of pushed back where, unders are hitting a lot, not a lot of high scoring, making some good players look really bad. And I think we're going to get that come up of some new, it was when we had the RPOs come in where that scoring started to go up, think defense were getting confused. We're going to have that start to bounce back up, and the defenses are even just fun to watch now. I'm enjoying watching some of these defenses play.
And it kind of sucks for me personally for fantasy reasons, but the Falcons have 2 very good running backs. Tyler Algier is continuing his rookie campaign, and he had more points than Bijan did. He had 24 points. Bijan had 20.
I swear, every time I looked over at that game, I just saw Tyler Algier breaking off the side,
and he fucking vultured both of those touchdowns. Bijan could have scored both of them. Bijan would have had over 30 points easily.
I think they're both going to get theirs if they play it right. I think they should play like everyone's been begging Cleveland to play before, where you had Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and you just fucking pound the rock and do nothing else. If the Falcons do that, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up with 2,000-yard rushers by the end of the season. That'd be very hard.
That would be awesome.
But my God, you got 2 really fucking talented guys.
Right. How many yards did Bijan have last? Well, he only had 55 rushing yards, but he had 31 reception yards. Bijan did
So
with the reception touchdown. Oh no, 27 yards. Sorry, 6 receptions.
Scrimmage yards. You're gonna get a fuck ton of scrimmage yards from both those guys.
Yeah, Bijan will be over 1,000.
Yes.
Because Algier doesn't. I mean, he can't catch the football, and he did catch the football, but on Sunday. But
Bijan, you can
draft Bijan for nothing.
Yeah, you don't have Bijan. Like Bijan, you can line up in the slot, or you can even line him up out wide if you want to. That's how they did it with him at Texas. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he's.
Oh, he was lined up in the slot a lot on Sunday.
That touchdown he scored was him lined up in the slot. I'm pretty sure, right?
Mm-hmm. Screen. Yep. It was a slot screen. Yep.
I think, and like Amazon does those AWS probability things or whatever. Apparently, from where he caught the ball, he had like a 10% chance of scoring.
Oh, when they cut back to it, I really did not think he was going to score.
Yeah, it was insane. I mean, it was that stop. I love when those stop moves are fun.
RJ, I can't hold back anymore.
Let's
get into this Patriots-Eagles game. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's so much to go over. So much.
I mean, we can just go over it. Baker was impressive.
Baker is him?
I think we kind of forgot that he still had Chris Evans and Mike Godwin to throw to.
This is a good overreaction, appropriate reaction kind of thing. Mike Evans is going to hit 1,000 yards for the 10th season in a row.
Oh, yeah. He's been doing it with everyone.
Oh, yeah. There was actually, I think, more than 50% chance that he wasn't, doubt that he wasn't going to get there. But after that game on Sunday, I think he'll get to 1,000 yards.
I think a lot of Bucs fans are kind of high right now. I think they're really happy. I'm like, can they make it? I think they can play spoiler. I don't know if they're maybe going to, in that division, they could still be a playoff team, but I think more often than not, like they did this week, they're going to play spoiler.
Okay, fuck. We still didn't go over another game. They looked a lot better than the Saints did. I don't know about a lot, but they did look better than the Saints did.
Derek Carr had a good game stat-wise, but man, that offensive line is trouble. Every time I looked up, he was getting pummeled.
That's the same exact Saints team, just going up and down the field with nothing to show for it.
I think it really showed.
They just stall out in the red zone. I don't get it.
I think it really showed not having Alvin Kamara. I think that really hurt them a lot more than people might think. Because it was like I
think you're right.
I think Olave had 8 receptions for 112 yards.
Yep.
And Jamal Williams had 18 carries for 45 yards. I think that offensive line is not good. And Derek Carr had 300 yards.
I'm not even sure because I just haven't even paid attention to the Saints at all.
They're not fun anymore. I want them if they start Jameis Winston next week, I'm watching every single Saints game for the rest of the season. But you've been giving me this Andy Dalton, Derek Carr bullshit with Dennis Allen, whoever the fuck that is as the coach.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey. What'd I tell you?
About who? Derek Carr.
You literally just said it. You would rather watch Jameis Winston than Derek Carr?
Oh, yeah. Did I say I wouldn't?
No, but I mean, I made that point. Holy shit, I made that point right at the beginning of the offseason when they signed Carr. Whenever the Saints signed Carr, I was like,
I don't feel like I would have disagreed with
QBB. But you kind of did.
I might have.
At the time.
And this is Derek Carr. But, I mean, Jameis Winston, there's only a couple quarterbacks that I'd be like are more fun to watch. They might not. There's a lot of quarterbacks better than him, but no one's more fun than watching Jameis Winston throw 5,000 yards in a season, 30 touchdowns, and 30 interceptions. That was the best season of all time.
That is the best.
The leading passer. Leading passing yards.
That's like if Acuna finished the season like. Actually, Acuna kind of is having almost the same season because he's not good at defense. Acuna's up to 35 home runs, 65 steals. We're watching for that 40-70 season.
Matt Olson got his 50th the other night yesterday against the Phillies.
He just got 51 tonight.
Also, never mind. We're going too much into baseball.
We are.
Keep going. Let's go back to football. It's time. We've been holding off because we keep going back to the other things. So let's talk about this game, Ian.
Been having so many long episodes recently. I love it. RJ. Yes, it is actually time. Let's get into the Patriots-Eagles game. Holy shit, the first 3 drives, I thought it was the same exact fucking Patriots team that I've been watching the past 2 years. Absolute bullshit.
But
guess what?
I was on my high horse. 16-0. Zeke fumbles. I mean, it couldn't have been more of my wet dream for that start. And then I'm like, we won, and I'm still angry about the game. Like, I'm not happy.
That was so. Well, the first quarter, I was like, no way. It's happening again. How can it be the same exact fucking team that it was last year? How? I don't get it. I really don't get it. But then after that fumble by Zeke, after the Eagles went up 16-0, everything was fine. Everything was fine. Actually, everything was like really fucking good. Even during the first quarter meltdown, I literally said out loud to myself, Matt Patricia could never call these plays on offense.
It was much better offense.
The plays made sense. They actually made sense. They were actually good decisions. I couldn't believe it. I had gotten so used to shit that every single play amazed me.
6 Super Bowls got used to so much shit. What a terrible world. Go ahead, I'm messing around.
Good luck winning another one.
I'm just saying
to another one. If you guys are the same team that showed up on Sunday, you will not even sniff the fucking Super Bowl.
I'm just saying this is what everyone else has to deal with when you. It's just welcome back to reality.
Without those mistakes, which obviously without those mistakes, the Patriots would have won the game. That's one of the clear things that you can say. If they had not made those mistakes, the Patriots would have won the game.
I don't want to necessarily say definitively yes. I mean, yeah, you probably would have. We didn't look good. I don't think we're going to look like that all year. I really don't. I think it's the same thing as the Bengals. We didn't play any starters really at all. We hardly played any during the
Patriots
preseason.
Didn't either, and we were also down 2 starting offensive linemen.
It was
and
similar.
One of our top corners in Jack Jones. So
I know. I don't know. It reminded me of the Lions game that we started with last year, where it was like hot start. Our offense wasn't looking great. I don't know what was going on with that. That was a little weird. And then all of a sudden we're letting the team back in the game, and we end up winning. And then now we're going to play Minnesota in week 2, and I'm like fully ready to just beat the shit out of Minnesota again. It wasn't a great game. I'm ready to just throw out the tape. I might have missed Jonathan Gann a little bit there, because I will say, your offensive line is still an issue, because we were getting to Mac Jones, but I got to give Mac Jones credit because he was getting that ball out quick.
He was, dude.
He was
it was
getting
really
it out
good.
Quick, and he was getting it out to receivers that were open. He wasn't trying to find a lot. Like, you were just chipping away. So I got to give him credit there. I'm not ready to be worried yet. Like I said, the Vikings.
Oh no, I wouldn't be worried about that. about the Eagles' performance. Like I said, Belichick had all summer to prepare for Jalen Hurts. I told you this 3 months ago.
And he
when
just
the,
broke
when the
up
schedules
with
came
someone.
out.
He just had to deal with the breakup, so he came in angry.
Oh, who Hurts?
No. Bill Belichick, him and his girlfriend broke up right before that. Not like that.
Wait, what?
How did you miss this?
I didn't hear that.
It was only like one of the biggest NFL stories leading up.
What?
Yes, there was a story of like they broke up, and apparently your front office is worried about what details she might come out with.
No way. Ugly breakup?
How did you miss this?
What? This is from September 10th. It is currently September 12th. What?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the original story, I think, it was like last Tuesday or Wednesday it came out. It was Daily Mail or something like that. Dolph Kleiman retweeted it.
Dude. What?
I can't believe it.
No way. Holy shit. That blonde. Oh my God. No way.
Yeah, that's why
they've been together forever. They've been together for like 20 years.
There were so many things. And I mean, the weather, which did stop, honestly looked better when it was raining. That we had some good, like, Jalen was making some good throws.
Oh, okay. We just moved on from that real quick. Okay, I see. Okay, whatever.
Well, I mean, I don't know what else you want to talk about with that.
You just transitioned right into it. I mean, like, I said something and you just acted like I didn't say it.
I'm sorry. I mean,
I was trying to think of the porn star she looks like. She looks like Julia Ann.
Oh, I didn't know that. That I did not know. I didn't think she looked like any porn star.
We're not watching the same porn.
No, I don't think so. I don't even know if I could. I don't know. Julie Ann. You thinking of Lisa Ann?
No.
I've never heard of Julie Ann.
Julie Ann.
No. I guess I haven't. Maybe
same category.
You know what? I'll probably. You know what? Let's just look it up.
You have. I know you have.
ANNE.
ANN. I think. You
Julia
know what? I don't
Ann.
know.
Oh. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and now I'm remembering the
did.
picture.
They're similar. They look similar.
Sorry, it just didn't even register to me that you were doing that because I was like, I don't know. But yeah, they look very similar. I'm remembering the picture of her.
It was just like a quick, like, okay, forget about that. Let's go into the game again.
Well, because I introduced it as like something that I thought you knew, and I was like, yeah, okay, now Ian knows. Let's go back into the game. So,
I had to say something about it.
Sorry, I'm forgetting that you're just learning this. I've had days to process.
Wow.
I mean,
She's with Tom Brady now. Holy shit. They hooked up in the new lighthouse.
I'm not. People have said that. People have mentioned shit like that. The amount Tom Brady gets talked about even more than when he's in the league now. Like, people are like, maybe the Jets will talk to Tom Brady.
We'll go over that.
But I think, as much as I hate to say it, I think I do have to admit, even though I want you and all you stupid Patriots fans to live in mediocrity for a while, people our age, obviously you older Patriots fans lived in that. But, I mean, your defense is pretty damn good. It is a pretty damn good defense. I don't see how you don't finish above the Jets now with the Bills. God,
10-7 looks way more realistic now.
I think
I had to cash that out for the cash.
I think it's doable. Like, you guys are a much better team.
On the defensive side, first off, Christian
guy.
Gonzalez
Yeah.
showed the fuck up.
He was good.
Amazing game. Great in coverage. Had a sack. Keon White getting pressure every single snap that he was on the field. It was great. He didn't have a sack, but I think he had Josh Uche had 9 tackles and a sack, and then also Matthew Judon did have a sack as well. So the defense showed up. Not going to complain about that at all. Offense showed up too. I'm not going to lie. And what did I tell you? Kendrick Bourne, fantasy sleeper, 2 touchdowns. Let's go.
He was good. He was very good.
What about it? What about it?
I don't know what our offense was doing. All of a sudden, I mean, our first drive, we were just slowly, methodically moving down the field with ease, just handing the ball off to Kenny Gainwell. DeAndre Swift got 2 touches. I don't know what that was, why him and other people were not involved. And like I said, I'm not too worried because, Jalen didn't have a lot of passing yards, but A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith still both had 7 catches. They were getting separation. I think we need to reevaluate how we were calling some plays there. And I don't know if it was a don't show anything from Minnesota type thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
So wait and see till Thursday.
Do you know what's going on with Rashad Penny? He was a healthy scratch, and I thought he would at least be the number 2 back.
That's been a weird development through camp.
Because I haven't heard anything about that until Sunday when my friend asked me, hey, should I start Rashad Penny or Ramondre Stevenson? And I told him Stevenson, and I later learned that Penny was inactive. And I was like, wait, what the fuck?
I think a lot of people, when we made these moves, just assumed it was going to be DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny 1-2 punch. I think as camp went on and everything, it's become abundantly clear.
I thought it was going to be Penny 60, Rashad Penny 60, maybe probably Gainwell and Swift probably the same amount. I would have guessed before the season, but it was Gainwell.
Yeah, and that might be one of another great sleeper that I ended up getting. I got Gainwell in a late rounds, and he's the lead back. I as camp went on,
he is without a doubt.
And he played pretty damn good when we were handing him the ball and just rushing it like we were.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know why we weren't throwing it out to DeAndre Swift, doing some outside runs, I don't know what it was. Because
the Patriots linebackers are basically safeties as well. The Patriots linebackers play such great coverage, especially with Mapu back there. He had a great game as well, another rookie.
Yeah, I think the outcomes of this game is I think you're going to have a better season than you probably thought you might have, or a lot of people thought the Patriots were going to have. I don't know how. I mean, I think playoffs is doable after seeing that game.
I think 10-7 is going to happen.
I don't know.
I mean, that doesn't even seem improbable anymore. And it didn't seem improbable in the first place. And people had them at the over under was 8.5 wins. I was like, what the fuck?
I think it's just
I
guess I'd have to look at your schedule to see.
Oh, we have the second hardest schedule in the league this year.
So then that's probably
that
what
schedule.
It was.
That schedule just got a little bit easier because now Aaron Rodgers is not going to show up for 2 games. So I don't. That doesn't take away the degree of difficulty from the other teams that we're playing.
I mean, there's certainly some teams on your schedule, as I'm looking at it right now, that look a lot easier than they did at first. There's some very winnable games in here. Your schedule's actually, 10-7 is so doable. Oh my god.
Well, the next 3 weeks might be tough. We got the Dolphins next. Thank God it's at Foxborough. I don't know if we're gonna beat the Dolphins.
Man,
at the Jets, which the Jets still fucking won. Let's not forget that. And then at the Cowboys, which Cowboys looked like the most dominant team this weekend. They did.
We'll get to the Cowboys, but you mentioned the Dolphins, and this was probably the best game of the day. Was Dolphins Chargers.
The only thing that I wanted to mention for sure about the Patriots game is Mac Jones didn't have any temper tantrums.
No.
He looked like he was tired of it losing, and it just looked like he wanted to win. So that's the last thing I had to say about the Patriots game.
Take anything into the fact that he wasn't quite able to, the one field goal that you didn't kick when you went for it on 4th down, when all you would have had to do to win the game was a field goal. And then 2, Mac wasn't quite able to, you guys definitely should have been able to drive down the field and score the way that we were playing. And he wasn't quite able to do it. Do you blame that more on Boutte not getting that foot in? Or...
I'm not mad about that at all. It's... Okay. At no point during the game, past the Zeke fumble and next score from the Eagles, I was ecstatic past that point. Every single thing that I saw led me to believe that they can be a good team.
I think I saw a lot of Patriot haters online who were like, would probably wish you would have had someone who could have completed that drive or known that could have completed that last drive to win.
No. Listen, Booty tried as hard as he could to get his.
They're saying his name. I'm pretty sure it's Boutte. I don't think it's Booty.
I'll call him Booty until I fucking die.
No, not you. I know you were doing it. I'm
know
pretty sure
it's
the announcers, but the announcers were calling him Booty.
And I was like, Boutte, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't believe the announcers were calling him Booty. I know you're gonna call him Booty. I know that. You're Ian. You're gonna call him Booty. I don't need fucking Joe Tessitore or whoever the fuck is calling the game calling him Booty.
You mean Tony Romo and Jim Nantz?
Yeah, I forgot who it was. I forgot what channel we were on.
Who'd you say, Vinny Testaverde?
No, I might have. Joe Tessitore. I said Joe. No, I said. Did I say Vinny Tessitore?
No, you said Joe. Whatever.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Because I've heard a lot about Vinny Testaverde lately too.
I think Tony Romo actually kind of stepped it back a little bit during that game. He was pretty good. Because I straight up watched the game on CBS. That was the only thing I was watching during that 4:25 time slot.
Do you want to know why I had no clue who was calling the game? Because once you guys started to come back, I was just not listening to anything because I was just sitting there furious. So I had no clue after that. I was just like, what the fuck are we doing right now? If I have to go on there and fucking listen to Ian talk about the Patriots winning, I'm going to lose my mind.
Well, I think I would have had the same disposition no matter what. I really don't think that I would have been like... I would have probably joked that I've been like, in your fucking face, you know.
And I don't think I would have been able to take it. I don't think I would have. I really don't. I know myself, and I don't know how. I think I would have just been like, I cannot believe this is my life right now.
Well, I mean, just take out the pick six and you guys lost.
Yeah. I mean, either
that's it.
That's all right.
That and the fumble.
Right.
The pick six and the fumble for the first 3 drives, that was excruciating. And I wanted to scream. I really did. But then that touchdown to Bourne.
That was good. That was a good throw.
The second touchdown, the second one, was awesome. Oh, so good. Okay,
we're on to Minnesota. We're on to Minnesota. Thursday night, we're on to Minnesota.
Oh, no.
On to Minnesota.
Miami.
The Dolphins for us. Yeah, that's going to suck.
Yeah, that... Tua, man, if this... do you think we'd be... If he didn't get hurt, and I know this is very far-fetched, would we be having him up there in that Mahomes, Hurts, Burrow talk? Because every time he does play and he's healthy, he does this. And I know having Waddle and Hill help, but he wins when he's healthy. And I think those concussions last year were... You can't call them fluky, but...
Well, first,
not like
First, I'm gonna need to see more games from him this season because he did have games like this last season before he was hurt, didn't he? Like in the first 4 weeks or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When he's healthy, he plays good, and the Dolphins fucking win, and they win tough games too.
Like, how can you go wrong with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle? One of them is going to be open no matter what. It's crazy. It's scary.
I don't know how Tyreek Hill's. I feel like people have been waiting for Tyreek Hill to kind of regress. I mean, even when he was still with the Chiefs, kind of like he's gonna. No, he just they threw a fade to a 5'9" player, and he fucking went up and got it for a touchdown.
Because he's so fucking fast, and he can jump like crazy. 11 receptions, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. 44.5 points, 49.5 with the bonus.
That's a scary team. And I think both those teams' defenses are still good. I think that was just one of the games where it's like, this is just going to be a shootout, and that's what it's going to be. Maybe not Miami's. I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't know about either of these defenses. I don't know about the Dolphins' defense.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Chargers' defense. But I know both offenses can ball out, and they did ball out.
Yes. They were so good. They saved the day.
Mike Williams.
Man.
Yeah, they did. Mike Williams actually got hurt within the first quarter and a half, and I was like, no, not again. But I was playing against him against Corey, so I was like, yes. But then he came back in the game, and he was fine.
The Chargers have got to do something, man. Like if this is another season where they're good and just not quite good enough to either make the playoffs or to even win a playoff game,
I don't know what it is.
If
their offense keeps doing well, but they keep losing games, make Kellen Moore your head coach, get rid of Brandon Staley. That's bottom line. That's it.
Yeah, and get I don't even
no
know
reason
who
there
is
is
coordinator.
There is zero reason to keep Brandon Staley after this year if he keeps losing. There's I would be so mad if I were a Chargers fan if they kept him after this year and they didn't make the playoffs or lost again the first round.
We should mention, which I don't. I think if you were actually watching this game, I had it in the quad box, I didn't realize J.C. Jackson basically lost the game for the Chargers too. There, I forget.
Damn, that sucks because this is his first game back since last year, tearing his ACL, right?
Yeah, it was some type of penalty he had. I wish I could remember, but yeah, he had some type of penalty that basically lost him the game.
Shit. Well, he's a former Patriot, so. That sucks for him.
Bill's sending him out to tear down the rest of the league from the inside.
You know it. Got rid of it at the right time.
Bill
Hurt
actually
all last year is going to commit every single penalty this year.
Bill actually broke up with his longtime girlfriend to go send her to someone else to tear that organization down from the inside. That's the type of shit people say about Bill Belichick. I hope you know, outside of the Patriots, that's what people say. That and all his coaches and stuff who end up doing terrible, it's Bill just sending them out to just destroy teams from the inside.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Okay. I wasn't sure how much you guys know.
Well, that's the funny theory. The other theory is that everyone sucks from the Belichick tree, and that kind of hurts even more.
That's true. I could see how that hurts.
About the Shula tree, the Parcell tree.
You know what I saw too?
The Belichick tree is just the fucking Christmas tree from Charlie Brown.
I don't know if I said this to you. I said it to Shane on Discord the other day. People talk about, of course, Brady and Belichick being such big people, part of that organization and those rings. I don't think we give enough credit to old Ernie Adams and Gisele Bündchen for getting Brady to sign so many friendly contracts because she was a bajillionaire. And it does seem like some things have kind of regressed a little bit since Ernie left too. Even when Tom was still there, I think that was...
Well, Brady also had other business ventures outside of football that these players, just signing their first big contract don't have.
True.
But this was also, this is basically when Brady was playing and taking pay cuts for the team, you can compare that to the fucking 1970s of basketball until like Magic Johnson got paid $1 million a year.
That's true.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I don't know. Next game. I don't even want to talk about this fucking
next game.
Denver Vegas game. I mean,
I don't either. Do you want to not talk about it? Let's not talk about it.
Sean Payton starting the game with an onside kick was kind of baller. That's all I want to talk about.
That's his signature.
I know.
I mean, like,
it was awesome. I loved it.
And it worked. And it worked once. That's the funny thing about it.
Yeah. Oh, Ian, I think I think the Rams might be a lot better than people might have thought. I think people forgot Stafford's kind of good when he's healthy.
I think he is a little bit more healthy than last year. He kind of probably has that strength back a little bit more like Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
But unlike Purdy, since Stafford's older, it may have taken him a year to get back into things.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a little. I don't know who the fuck this... Did I put his name? Puka something?
Yeah. Paku Nadia.
Yeah, Paku Nadia. Apparently
Puka, or
a BYU receiver? I forget where he's from. And Tutu Atwell, who was hyped up when he got drafted last year. And they
Puka.
Both with exactly 119 yards. That's kind of a wild stat. And Seattle looked like doo-doo. Just
Seattle
doo-doo.
looked like garbage, and I was kind of worried about this because, to be honest with you, that's kind of Geno Smith's repertoire. Good then bad, then good then bad, then good then bad, and it was a little bit more bad.
It started to get bad towards the end there a little bit last year, kinda. Cause didn't that first playoff game look real ugly that they played?
I don't know. I really don't know.
But it was. Did you hear the Geno say, "Oh my god!" Like he got scared. I think it was like Aaron Donald came crashing through the line, and you could hear him be like, "Oh my god," or something like that.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'd be very scared too if I saw Aaron Donald running at me.
Yeah, I would be too. So I mean, 30-13 Rams. We'll see. Like a lot of these are overreactions. Remember that. It's week 1.
It's week 1, yeah. There's going to be... It's the same exact thing is going to happen in NFL next week that happened in college. People are going to bet teams who looked really good and not on teams that looked really bad, and you're going to be surprised next week by a lot of teams.
Yeah. So then this one, this seemed like normal, even though there were a whole bunch of different players. Green Bay at Chicago. Green Bay won 38-20.
New players, same old shit, man. And it's really sad.
What did I say? The Bears are still the same Bears that won 2 games last year. I don't know what people are expecting this year, but it definitely it shouldn't be the playoffs. They should not be expecting playoffs with how bad that was.
I don't know who expected playoffs for the Bears. I don't even know if Bears fans expected playoffs. I think they were hoping for I
think they probably did.
God, that's crazy if they were. I feel like people I've listened to expected 6-7 wins to build on. Justin Fields still looks good. This was like a make or break game for a lot of Bears fans. Of it's not Aaron Rodgers, it's Jordan Love. We need to beat them, and Jordan Love he did what Packers quarterbacks have done to the Bears for years. And I feel sad for our monsters in the Midwest out there.
Right. He's Jordan Love's been doing what he's been doing when he's come on in relief. Just kind of looking solid, nothing super flashy, but just making no mistakes, clean play, just very good all around. Jordan Love. The hype around him this offseason was real. I think he's going to be one of the standout players this year.
The Bears offense was it was like watching the Patriots offense last year. It was what are they doing? I didn't understand what Justin Fields only ran 9 times. I think he should have run like 20, to be honest. And they weren't
a game?
No downfield passes.
So a game that we actually didn't go over was the Chiefs-Lions on Thursday night. But the Lions beat the Chiefs 21-20. But one of the big additions for the Lions was David Montgomery, and I didn't realize how good David Montgomery is in pass protection. So I immediately, after I saw that on Thursday, I was like, oh shit, the Bears are in trouble. Because I feel like Montgomery did a lot that didn't show up on the stat sheet.
Probably. I mean, that offensive line is still... it's still not good.
Still bad, even with, Darnell Wright.
Still not great. One person isn't going to help it. I don't know what the... and maybe this is just another thing of, like, the Packers just own the Bears, and maybe the Bears still have an okay season. But that's just got to hurt. Like, if...
It does.
Like, if I had hope and it was coming out against, like, the Cowboys and it was a similar situation like that and that happened, I'd be like, well, fuck. This sucks. Like, I'd have no hope for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Should the Giants not have hope for the rest of the year?
What was that? Just throw away that game.
Listen, I know it was raining, but what? 5 fumbles? What the fuck was that?
This is where I think this is where it happens every year, and I'm gonna lay my dick on the ground with this. The Cowboys are not as good as they looked Sunday night, people. I'm gonna tell you this right now. They do this every year. They kill some teams at the beginning. They kill some sorry ass team like the fucking Giants. And we might go 1-1 against them this year, even with Jalen Hurts starting. Like they are better, but like I said the Giants are not going to be as good as they were last year. I said that they were going to end up last in our division. And I don't think
what did they go last year? 10-7.
Yeah, and they had a lot of games.
It's not a crazy goal to beat.
No, it's not. But they had a lot of balls bounced their way where our whole division had very easy schedules last year, and our whole division has much tougher schedules this year. And the Giants, I think they did the wrong thing and paid the wrong fucking man. I really think they did.
I don't think they did, but it's funny that you say that you refuse to believe Dallas is good, because I also refuse to believe that Dallas is good, and rather every single thing went wrong for the Giants.
Yes, like that. I believe more that the 49ers are fucking for real going out and playing like that against the Steelers, who have TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, Devin, but like
TJ Watt still caused
he had a
chaos.
Fucking game. He had a
TJ Watt had a great game.
Yeah, didn't he have? How many sacks did he have?
He was the only one that had a good game.
I need to because
Cam Hayward's out for a little while, and he has like a groin injury, so he's considering surgery. So
TJ Watt had 3 sacks and a fumble recovery. And two forced fumbles.
Yeah, he was the only bright spot. And actually, Patrick Peterson didn't look too bad either.
He got burnt a couple times.
He did get burnt a couple times, but he also won a couple times.
Yes, yeah. And and I'm happy you're so on my side with this, because I'm watching the game, and I even stopped watching early because it's there's no point in watching this. The Giants are just a disaster right now. Kadarius Toney got his pound of flesh after Thursday. Back at the Giants.
Yeah, he did.
That was funny. But this is what they do.
Y'all gonna be quiet now?
And then he was like, "That's all I'm gonna say. Leave me the fuck alone." And I was like, I kind of respect it. I'm gonna bet on him to score a touchdown this week because of that. I am absolutely going to.
Yeah, I think that's a good bet.
Everything went wrong with the Giants. I mean, you start off with a blocked kick. They were moving down the field very well that first drive, and then they get the kick block, and it all went downhill from there.
Yeah, I woke up and Darren Waller had 6 points, but also he was their top targeted receiver. He was targeted 5 times for 3 catches, 36 yards.
I don't know if it's the number change But he looks so much more like a receiver than he did in.
I mean, he did it. I think he did in Las Vegas too.
I think it's the number thing. I think you see the 80s now, and you're like, all right, well, that's a tight end. And now you see the 12s and what you see 12, and you're like, oh, that's a receiver, which he was drafted as a receiver. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
So it makes, but yeah, he was. I mean, I was watching him all night because I bet on him for something. I bet on him to score or something like that, and I was like, this guy's just open all the time. And Micah Parsons, I think that Giants offensive line is not very good either.
No, it's not. I think that's their big weakness.
Micah Parsons was.
But, like, it's... I mean, I didn't watch any of the game, but it just seems like they were trying to do things that... Like, they just stuck to their game plan, and they didn't adjust until it was way too late. That's what it seemed like.
Like I said, I think that
and everything was going wrong.
That kick got blocked. It got ran back for a touchdown, and they immediately hit panic mode, and they did not need to.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, they should have taken a page out of the Patriots book from earlier that day.
This might sound
just
wild.
Calm down. Simple football.
Because it is Zach Wilson. But because that Jets defense is so good, do not be surprised if the Cowboys are in a dogfight this weekend against the Jets. Because that defense may be able to get to Zach and can probably... I mean, they caused 3 turnovers against Josh Allen, who has... I think him losing Brian Dable is a big thing, is what we're learning. Because he wasn't... I don't think he was making these kind of mistakes with Dable. It all started last year.
So let's just go into the Jets game.
Whoever the fuck that... I already forget his last name. Did that Jets defenseman... I'm sorry, I'm burying the lead. What the fuck? I spent the first...
Hold on.
4 minutes crying.
Let's start over.
Sorry. Go ahead.
4 snaps into the Jets' offensive season, Aaron Rodgers tears his Achilles. Possibly career-ending.
A lot. And not at Aaron Rodgers, but at the Jets. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a joke.
It is the Hard Knocks curse, I guess.
It's just the Jets curse. Anyone who doesn't believe the Jets
it is
cursed.
A Jets curse. All right. You know what? I'm going to make a bold claim and say that the Jets are the Pirates of the NFL.
Yeah. That's not terrible.
Not terrible. Maybe not exactly 1-for-1. Absolutely not. But similar.
It's close. It's damn close. Because
haven't won a championship since the 70s.
Well, and I was watching a live stream of people of like Jets fans watching it at the same time. And before the game even started, the one guy was like, you know, I woke up this morning and all I could think about is Vinny Testaverde after, I don't know when it was, the Jets went to the AFC finals or championship game, and then he tore his Achilles in the first snap.
I saw that. That was on Barstool. Yep.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah. I can't believe he said it.
I did see that.
I can't believe he said it, and then that happened. And this guy also like refuses to like acknowledge that like curses in sports are like a thing. He's like, it's just a series of unfortunate events, and I'm like, that's a fucking curse. And I think the other story out of him tearing his Achilles is players coming out of the woodwork again to demand turf. No, not demand grass on all the fields. Because I saw a couple people coming out of the woodworks and saying like how much Bakhtiari did. Mangold chimed in. I don't know what it is, but apparently it's a lot harder on your body to play on turf, and that Meadowlands shit is not good.
It is. But do you want a Bears Week 2 game from last year? Anytime it rains? Do you want the field to just be flooded?
Kinda, yeah. If I'm being honest, yeah. I know you don't, but it is fun.
No one wants to play in that.
I think there's
no one actually wants to play in that.
Was that okay? Was that in Chicago? That game last year? I think it was. I think that there's a lot of
listen. It's not a Chicago thing. It is a engineering thing. There's no good way to do it.
I think there are grass fields
if you
out
have
there
a
that
natural
do well.
grass field like that, that's especially like in a rainy area like that. I mean, like
there's teams that do it. There's teams that do it. There's teams that do it. Like
there definitely are.
Like that. Why can't I think of the Bears' fucking stadium name?
I think the Steelers have a natural grass field.
Yeah, and there are natural grass fields out there that are horrible. Like Washington was one. I know the Bears are one. There are ones out there that are notably bad. But I've also known that there's notably bad turf ones, and players say that when you play on turf, it takes a lot longer to like recover, and I think injuries are a lot more prone to happen. And there's teams that do it well.
The Super Bowl was turf, right? No, that was natural grass, wasn't it? Because they put it outside.
Yes, it was natural grass.
Yeah, it was natural grass.
Mm-hmm.
And people were bitching about that during the Super Bowl. You can't win.
I know. I'm saying
you really can't win with this.
There are teams that do it.
I'm not arguing with you. Yeah.
I know. There's organizations that do it right, and because they put the money and the time into it, and I don't know what happened with the Super Bowl, but
I don't know.
I just have seen players talk about it more and more, and I was just like, I don't play. I used to love when I played on turf when I played sports because it felt faster. I don't know how it feels as an NFL player playing on it. They just say they all hate it, is all I know.
Right. But, I mean, like, I don't know. Does it really make that much of a difference injury-wise?
From what I understand, it seems like it does, yes. And maybe it's something I need to look into. But then you have
examples like, I mean, like, do you want to get injured or do you want to have no footing? Because they're going to, either way, both of these things are going to be complained about 100%, no matter what type of field it is.
You know what? They should just complain about the surface.
Go to a clay field.
Oh God, that'd be that's like just going back to the old. It's like that, or going back to the old like Raiders when they used to play in the same stadium as the fucking A's.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden you're running on just dirt.
That was one of the highlights from one of the Tom Brady clips, was him in the old Oakland Stadium throwing on the dirt. Oh, I loved it. I actually really loved that.
It was nice
on a
to
Sunday
watch.
and seeing people play on dirt. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
They're just running by and you're like, oh, there's home base. Well, not home base, but wherever. It's probably not usually home base. It was probably usually like second, but I don't know. That's just something I know players have brought. Like, it was a big discussion amongst players.
I know.
So I just don't know what it is.
I know that it is.
That's the only reason I thought
But after the Super Bowl, when players complained more than ever about the fucking field,
not us.
Which way do you fucking want it? Which way do you want it? Yes, some Eagles players definitely complained about it. Are you kidding me?
Not the ones that are still around. You might be right, but I'm denying it.
Oh, still counts. They were Eagles when they complained about it.
I don't remember how the field looked at all, so...
Okay, you were not there, RJ. I wasn't there either, but... My point is they're going to complain about it either way. And that's shitty. When Aaron Rodgers is just fucking 40 years old. You know what? That's all that happened. Is he hyperextended his ankle and he tore his Achilles because he's 40 years old. That's it.
I mean, that guy was just a free rusher, right? On that play? The guy that tackled him?
don't even know. I just saw it pop, and that was the only thing I was focused on.
My first thought, I was just like, I haven't gone back and watched it, but I'm like, whew, we were talking about how bad the offensive line was going to be, and everyone was like, we'll be fine. And then he just immediately starts, I just can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers, good luck tripping the rest of your life.
I mean, he just
this isn't the kind of tripping that Aaron Rodgers likes to do.
No, not at all. He may need to do some more of that to get through this.
But in the wake of this all, the Jets still won the game. Because you want to know why? The Bills have been doing the same exact fucking thing we've been telling them not to do. Me and you have been telling them not to do.
It started last
year. Down the field. It'll work. Just go ahead. Just keep on chucking it down the field. Josh Allen just 3 interceptions. Jordan Whitehead 3 interceptions.
I really think, and I got to give credit to some lady at work who brought this to my attention today. When you think about it, he was turning the ball over, but not in these ways when Daboll was there. Like, ever since what's his name, Ken Dorsey has come, starting last year is when we started to get on them about it. Of like, let's just huck it. Like, you don't have you have Stephon Diggs. You don't have a Tyreek Hill down there to just huck it to. Like, Stephon Diggs, you can laser it in.
I don't care who you have down
yards.
there. You can't just chuck it down the field into double coverage every single time. And he does.
If another team who may lose their head coach if something doesn't change this year, like that was.
Well, I don't even know. I don't even know if it's their head coach. I really think this is the same Josh Allen that we've seen the first 2 years of his career. It's the same exact Josh Allen. He's just converted back to old ways.
Yeah, he had that 1 year. After that 1 year, it's gone back downhill.
He had like 2 or 3 good years. What's this year? His 5th year? 6th year? I think this is his 6th year. I don't know, but he has had 2 bad, 2 good,
5th.
2 bad now.
This would have to be his 5th because he got paid or something. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway,
that's what I was thinking. I thought they took his 5th year option or something and then extended him. And it's been a while since they extended him. That doesn't matter. But I think it's like 60-40 Josh Allen offensive coordinator right now. I think Josh Allen is more to blame than the offensive coordinator. Because instead of checking it down, his check down is 50 yards down the field, I guess.
I mean, that first interception was just an arm punt. It was a beautiful arm punt. And then
I don't get it.
That game, it was 100% him. As you have on here, Jets defense is what they said that they were going to be.
Yeah, exactly. That 85 Bears Legion of Boom comparison was not terrible based on this first game.
Jordan Whitehead, I couldn't believe. I mean, that goes all over the fucking field. When it was him the second time, I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. And then when it was him the third time, and he was also right there, he didn't recover the fumble, but he was right there when it happened in the vicinity. I was like, this guy is just, I mean, he's got a magnet to this ball somehow during that game. It was crazy.
And then Garrett Wilson is still going to be Garrett Wilson. That was one of, listen. Go back and watch it again. This is up there I think it's behind the OBJ and Justin Jefferson catch. But I literally think it's like 3 to 5 top catches I've ever seen.
I mean, the guy was all over him. And it was incredible. The way
Wilson, pushed it to the side, and then used the momentum to move it away from the defender, and then turned his hand midair and caught the ball. I was like, "What? What? Are you kidding me? How can someone physically do this?" Loved it.
I'm sorry, I just saw that we came back from 6-1 against the Braves to win.
Oh shit! Nice.
And Trey's just hitting homers every day. Back to football.
Yeah, that's okay. But Garrett Wilson tied it at 13 late in the game, and then they exchanged field goals at the end to go into overtime.
That was huge for me. This is what I was gonna. Shane got locked out of his Barstool account to bet. I guess I shouldn't say that out, but to bet for me. So anyway, he moved to a different one. I had free bets, and I used it on Garrett Wilson to score and over 5.5 touchdowns, or over 5 not touchdowns, 5.5 receptions. He ended with 5 receptions and a touchdown. And I was, as cool as it was that they won on that punt return. Once we went to overtime, I was like, perfect, guaranteed that we get one more catch. And I was like, oh my god, and I was excited. I was like, no! Oh my god, stop!
Wait,
stop!
No! That's hilarious.
But I want to give credit.
Jets on the punt return to win it.
Kind of give credit to the Jets fans, to be honest. They stuck through that game. I don't know how half that stadium didn't empty out once Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
Because it was the first game of the season.
True.
If that would have happened on Game 5, people would have left in droves.
And they stayed loud. They stayed in it. The environment was, I was never more in on a team than when Aaron Rodgers was running out to Thunderstruck with the fucking American flag on 9/11.
That was hype.
Right? Yesterday was 9/11? Yeah. Okay, I wouldn't make sure I didn't mix up my days. I was like, oh, yeah, Super Bowl. Easily.
Dude.
And then I was down. And then I was back up when they went on that punt return. Off a guy who apparently was a big thing in Hard Knocks, which we stopped watching after 2 episodes.
I watched the first 3 and I didn't watch 4 and 5. But this was hilarious. FanDuel not refunding Rodgers props. DraftKings will be refunding all Aaron Rodgers singles. And Corey said, DraftKings goated.
Oh, yeah.
And then I sent him the article from the AP that said, DraftKings has apologized after using the 9/11 terror attacks to entice people to bet on baseball and football games on the anniversary of the tragedy that killed nearly 3,000 people.
I don't know how that got by anyone, that was literally a promoted bet on the front page of DraftKings. That was insane. I don't know how do you do that?
Don't know.
You just put yourself back. And they had to refund that at that point after. Imagine if they did that and they were like, no, we're not refunding your Aaron Rodgers props. Bad day for DraftKings it would have been. I am surprised FanDuel didn't do it because they usually do stuff like that, especially they do a lot more in NBA. A lot more in NBA, but I'm surprised they didn't do that at all. Because Shane and I were talking about that. They were like, do you have to? And I was like, I think for customer retention, you kind of do.
Right. Yeah. That would make sense. But who the fuck knows? Last thing we're going to go over. After all of that, who's going to fill the backup role or possibly come in to start over Zach Wilson? Listen. This is a fair question with how high the expectations still are. I feel like the Jets are in win now mode. But I thought of one of the best things that can happen for the sport. It would be the greatest rivalry of the modern day.
I'm just going to wait and hear what you say here. I don't know where this is going.
Jets make the trade for Bailey Zappi.
That's not where I thought you were going. That's even better than where I thought you were going. Zappi and Mac Jones. That would be a lot of fun.
Could you imagine a Bailey Zappi Mac Jones matchup twice a year for the next 20 years?
Oh, I'd buy a Zappi Make Me Happy green hat so fast, and I'd wear it to every podcast, especially if they would beat you guys somehow. Um, as much as that was, I don't know if that was just a setup question. It is a really good question. Because
it is a really good. It is a good question, but what if?
Jets fans are in such a spiral. I heard people throwing around Carson Wentz. I was like, no. You don't want to do. I mean, Zach Wilson was statistically the worst quarterback, but I think you might be a lot more frustrated than if you have Carson Wentz.
After week 1, I think it would take a lot to get Stafford.
Oh yeah, no, you're not getting Stafford.
With what the Rams gave up for Stafford, they're gonna want at least half of that back in return, which is not worth it.
You want to know what else about this is interesting too? The Green Bay Packers don't get a first-round pick from the trade now because Aaron Rodgers had to play 80% of the snaps. So, like, the Jets still get to keep their first-round draft pick next year too. I know.
Oh
I didn't think of it. I didn't think of
That's
that. That's
hilarious.
I know.
That is hilarious.
I don't know. I think, and Nick Mangold said this. I think you stick with Zach Wilson until it's just too bad that you can't, because he's been learning the system. I'll tell you what. He had like 3 throws last night where I was like, "Here we go, baby, Zach Wilson."
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Zach Wilson looked pretty good last night.
There was a couple where I was like, "Ooh." There was a couple. The ball that he surprised the guy with, I was like, he threw that 100 miles an hour. He was the.
Well, I mean,
fastest.
it was just like.
I was like, oh shit! Like,
it was. It took Mac Jones a little bit to warm up. He was throwing some bad passes in the first quarter. Like the pick 6 was a bad pass that was way behind him and a little bit to the left. That he should have made the throw easily. But yeah, it's. I really do think that Zach Wilson can listen at least half of the year.
He's got to get.
It's a long season.
So it is. I mean, he can if they just do what they did. Their run game was pretty damn good. I mean, Breece Hall, holy shit.
Oh yeah, they said they were going to use him sparingly. He had 140 yards.
He ran all over the field. He was awesome.
Yeah, he did really well.
If you just use him in the way to just be a game manager, use your offense, put him in a position where he doesn't need to,
127 yards. Sorry.
Put him in a position where he doesn't need to win games, or he doesn't need to be the one to win you the game. You can make the playoffs with that.
They barely used Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, and he was good when they used him too.
Mm-hmm.
Breece Hall's most impressive run to me yesterday wasn't even a long one. It was 5 yards or 6 yards where I watched him dodge 6 people at the line of scrimmage just in the pile. And I was like, how the fuck did he just do that? It's very specific. But I was like, oh my god, this guy is legit. So I think your conference has just become, your division has just become a lot more interesting after this weekend.
It has. It definitely has.
Do you put the Dolphins as a front runner at this point?
Easily after week 1, easily Miami's ahead. I'd put the Patriots too. I would really put the Patriots too.
You almost have to. You almost
Jets
do.
3, Bills. I mean, Bills since they lost to the Jets last.
Since Tom Brady's been gone and they've had Josh Allen, how have you guys done against the Bills? I feel like they've kind of mollywopped you a couple times.
Usually split.
Okay.
Usually split the series.
Okay. Then yeah, after week 1, if I'm gonna do the week 1 overreaction, yeah, I don't see how you don't. It could change, like we said. It's week 1. Teams look very different. I mean, who was it? I think the Jaguars were not good to start last year, and they ended up in the playoffs. So you never know. It's exciting.
Right.
It's
I thought they were off to another slow start. Yeah, but they beat the Colts. So we'll see. really interesting first week. Things kind of didn't break the way that I thought they would.
No. When Frowny sent that like all favorites parlay, I was like, yeah. I don't even know why waste your money on that.
That was Fiesta though, wasn't it?
Was it? I thought it was Frowny. They just both show up as F's, so I wasn't sure.
I think a lot of people jumped on it, so
which like that's just so especially in the NFL. That's so dumb. But next week is going to be like I'm even more interested in next week to see what teams are going to show us. Are there really these teams or some of these flukes, whether it was a fluky win or a fluky loss?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Patriots-Dolphins will probably be a really good game. I'm kind of looking forward to the Falcons-Packers. I think that should be a good game.
I'm kind of happy our game's just Thursday and we can get it over with. I don't know why I'm always so nervous for Vikings games. I just hate playing Kirk Cousins.
Jaguars-Chiefs. 1:00.
How is that not the... I mean, I guess they just played Thursday, but how is that not one of the Monday night games?
Is there there's no Sunday night game.
You guys are the Sunday night game.
Oh, that's what it... Oh, okay.
Because yours is because it's at the top because you favorited it.
Yeah. When you favor your team on ESPN, it puts you at the top, but I went all the way to the bottom of the thing. I just assumed Patriots Dolphins was at 1:00 because that's usually what it's at.
Oh, another thing I said in the group message last night after this whole game: the Jets have 5 more primetime games on the schedule.
Oh yeah,
but
they still won.
Yeah.
They still won.
Like I said, if it's bad Zach Wilson, that's really unfortunate. If it's last night where they make it work,
at least. Yeah,
they can flex.
They can flex at least one of those games. At least one of them. I mean, at least 2 of those games have to be late enough that they can do that.
Yeah. I don't like the way they did these Monday night games the next 2 weeks. Why are they starting 1 hour apart? Like I feel like I'd rather have 2 standalone.
Well, no, because the second game always starts at like 10:30.
But maybe move it up. I don't know. Next week's game's kind of Saints-Panthers. I don't know if I'll be watching that.
Steelers-Browns might be a good game.
That'll be fun. I think that'll be a game where you can be like, what are the Steelers actually? You can.
Jets-Cowboys will actually be a good game too.
That's what I like. Don't be surprised if the Cowboys are struggling.
There are so many good 1:00 and 4:00 games. Wait, what the fuck? I actually didn't think there was any good matchups, but there actually is.
Week 1 made me a lot more excited for the season. I think it made me feel like there's a lot more teams that are not going to be just shit. Like last year, we had some teams after a while that was like just shit. Oh no, we didn't win. We lost in extra innings. We came back and tied it. That sucks. Sorry.
That's okay.
I got duped. Rams,
Phillies
Niners,
are duping you.
That might be... Well, the Niners are going to dominate the Rams. They always do. It's another one of those.
Like those divisional matchups, I don't know. Like the Cardinals-Giants might be a good game, but...
If Anthony Richardson is healthy, Colts-Texans might actually be a fun, bad game to watch. Like 2 bad teams that may just put up points against each other because...
Bad? No, the Colts are going to destroy the Texans. They're not even the same... They're not even in the same tier. Colts are way better than the Texans right now.
We'll see. I think it could be fun.
Right now, Indianapolis is -1.
Let's see. Ooh, Bengals-Ravens. That'll be fun. I kind of like a lot.
We'll see if the Bengals show up.
Week.
Wait, hold up. Take the Ravens plus 3.5 right now. What the fuck?
Don't fall into the trap, people. That's a perfect game of one team looking good and one team looking bad.
But yeah, all right, we got to wrap things up, RJ. We've had some long episodes. I know it's been a while, but
I know.
We need to reel them back into like an hour 15.
I know. We should definitely, maybe on Sundays and Saturdays, just list out games that we're going to talk about. Like, just put them on there and get rid of them. Don't even mention them if you don't need to.
Right. Well, I like listing all of them just in case.
Yeah.
Because who knows what's going to happen. But
that's what I mean. List them after the games are over. Like that Denver Raiders game, that was such an easy get rid of. Don't need to talk about it.
Well, I didn't put it on there.
I know. I was putting them all down there just to have them down. But once I saw it,
yeah, in that Tennessee New Orleans game, 15-16. That's the worst score ever.
Tennessee's just going to be like a low scoring team that somehow might stumble into the playoffs.
Yeah, who knows? But we'll see. We'll see. Alrighty, RJ.
Toodles.
I'm tired.
I know.
Whoa! You're gonna toodles without doing a much.